I swear, every time I don't like a female character in a movie, it's because either a man wrote it, ruined it, or stole it. Now, before I get into this movie, which I did like her, I liked her. I had some problems with the movie itself. I talk about in the video that this comment's attached to. There was things that just didn't sit right with me. Like all of the men being completely worthless and pretty gross, which I'm now learning, thanks to my commenter, that a lot of this is wrapped up in the feminization of Scottish people, colonialism, like the things that suck and ruin everything, this too, right? But it gets worse. Like all of the men are drunk idiots and all of the problems could be solved if only these two women literally just tell them that mom's a bear. But no, the whole thing is about them anyway. And only a man would include a scene where three little boys, the princess, all end up bears, but assault this woman to get the key out of her boobs. Like, this scene is shocking. But they're just little boys. Boys will be boys. Bears will be bears. Now, when I watched this movie, I just gave y'all my first impressions in that last video. But because y'all teach me so much, not only this, thank you for this comment, but apparently the original creator, who is a brilliant woman who has been behind some of the biggest movies of her time. This was her movie. This was her story. It was super important to her. It was a very personal story to her about the relationship between mothers and daughters. And then this guy wait until I show you what this guy has done. Because later on, she went on to say it wasn't creative differences. It was actually micromanagement. But even that wasn't the full story, y'all, because this all happened before Me Too hit Hollywood. Remember, Me Too did not start in Hollywood. Just in case people forgot, this is the amazing woman who started Me Too before white women in Hollywood took it and didn't give credit. So what really happened? It was way more than creative differences. Now, I don't know if that's what happened with Brave, but what we know from because she's still, Brenda still has not talked about the details of this, but these other employees at Pixar painted a disgusting picture of what it was like working here. But honestly, as somebody who has worked in comedy and in the film industry for many years, none of this surprises me. Men steal women's stuff all the time. Men make women feel unsafe all the time. In any industry where men have the most power, and especially one driven by so much ego, like Hollywood and tech and Wall Street, where men's power is unchecked, although women can be just as dangerous. This Lasseter fella, had said he made missteps, oopsie, and made some people, specific group of people, but some people feel disrespected and uncomfortable. Don't you just love the language they choose? Oh, God. But Pixar employees started coming out and being like, oh, no, it was much worse. So one of the employees said that she was warned about the behavior of Lasseter. I don't even know how you say his name. I don't care. I don't even want to call him by his name other than a D-bag who deserves not to be named. But him and other Pixar leadership displayed around women, not people, women. Although, if there was anyone from any other marginalized group that actually got a job there, which is unlikely knowing the way their hiring practices, they are probably not treated well either. So she was banned from weekly art meetings on the film she was working because the superior told her that the COO has a hard time controlling himself. Sounds a lot like Mike Pence, how he doesn't let himself around women. Why do you think that is, Mike? Why can't you be trusted around women? You should question that. It's never just the advances of these men, how unsafe they make you feel, or the fact that they're making unwanted advances towards female staff. So multiple women. It's the fact that they rob women of their dreams, of career advancement. Because if women are not in these meetings, these important meetings, how are they going to do their job? How are they going to advance? How will they ever be in leadership positions if they have to be kept out of rooms because a man can't control himself? So he would give her and countless other women lecherous up and down looks for unwanted hugs and touches, like almost every time they pass by this dude. And then Halloween parties, humiliate women at any events. Take a spin. Let daddy see the backside. Like this stuff, makes me so mad. Okay, so these women endured men doing this, especially this one man, but it was the culture, right? making comments on their bodies, making, like that is a power move. It's never about schmegs or attraction. It is literally to knock women down, to intimidate them, shut them up in the work environment. And then, because the leadership was doing this and was violating the boundaries of their employees, she said it created a feeling that such behavior was acceptable for the wider staff, right? I mean, we saw this happen with Trump. Like, all these men were emboldened after, if daddy president is bragging about grabbing, we saw an uptick in violence against women, Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, the LGBTQ community. Like, literally everyone Donald Trump hated experienced more violence because he normalized and condoned it. When the leadership does this, this is the only trickle down that happens. They love to talk about trickle down. The rich people just trickle down their wealth. No, but they sure do trickle down their abuse. Women will regularly grow. There's preferential treatment for men who were given resources and opportunities women were not. These men were constantly setting these women up to fail and then replacing these women with men and then giving those men like unlimited resources. Does this sound familiar? Sounds an awful lot like this dude. And what HBO lets him do, steal this woman's work, who created Euphoria, laid all the groundwork, and then fired her so he could come in. Did the same thing with this next, The Idol or whatever that is, that trash that man turned it into. Thank God it's canceled. Same thing happened with this dude. Remember how all those women were left out of important meetings and job opportunities, and everyone was warning them about this dude, but also like keeping them away from things that they needed to advance their career, all to enable these predators. And it's not just men enabling them, it's women. Women, we love to clean up the mess that these men make when we don't heal our crap. It's funny though. In a later interview, Brenda said that, okay, so they tried to change her movie a lot and then realized the changes sucked, right? Look at this. When they asked her, we heard they tried to change your movie. Yeah, she said, they tried to make it more about the father-daughter story as opposed to the mother-daughter story. Look how she says it. It was interesting, and it didn't work. Imagine a man coming in and taking a story like Brave, that the whole story is about the mother and daughter. And then he's like, I know, let's make it about the king baby. While she wasn't super pissed at how it turned out, she says it was like surface level, and at least it got across the message about mothers and daughters that she wanted it to. But I would love to see what the original movie was before a man and the Shang Wang abuser man that put him in power, before they did that to it. Not saying the movie's terrible, just saying I would have loved to seen the movie it was supposed to be before Disney threw a bunch of gross generalizations around Scotland and its history and had the like colonizer lens on it, right? And a man got his hands on it. Now you would think that this man would never work again because, white men suffer the consequences of their actions all the time. But he's working. He's got a new job. He is living his best life because a 36-year-old billionaire who inherited his money from his billionaire daddy was like, I know, I want to hire a predator to be in charge of everyone at my new company. And guess what? He was one of the first executives in the entertainment industry to return to a position of prominence after Me Too allegations. So on some level, this man opened the door for all of them to return. We knew they would. We were hoping they wouldn't, and they did. All of them. And when hiring him, the dude was like, well, I got these other 2 women to sign off, so it's good. They said it's okay, so it's definitely okay. And he's got so much creative talent and expertise in managing large exuberance and leadership, blah. We did not enter this decision lightly. John has acknowledged and apologized for his mistake, and during the past year away from the workplace has endeavored to address and reform them. Now, John is a reformed man now, and we know it always works out well for women when we give predators the benefit of the doubt. Just listen to him. I've spent the last year away from the industry. Oh, poor guy. Y'all, he's been away. He was forced out of the industry for a whole year. In deep reflection, learning how my actions unintentionally, keyword, made colleagues uncomfortable, which I deeply regret and apologize for. It has been so humbling, y'all. But I believe it will make me a better leader. Getting Me Too'd is going to make me a better leader. I've learned so